Hello my treasures, it's time to feel like a Chad with Thaddius Hunter. The idea behind this deck is quite simple. We're going to take a page out of both a Druid and Warlock using Flesh Behemoth in combination with Hunter's version of Ooze and Whopper, yelling Yodeler in order to get a really cheap Thaddius out, and then play down 4 or 5 copies of King Krush to finish off our opponent in a single turn. Now, there is one warning I need to give. A Nerubian Egg wasn't in some of the replays I'm going to show off. However, it did end up solving a lot of the issues I had where I wanted some type of board pressure before we actually slam down our combo. For the Mulligan guide of the deck, you are going to be looking for early game minions. This also includes cards like Barrel of Monkeys as a way to generate a bunch of minions. For Selected Breeder, 90% of the time you're going to be choosing King Krush, and Nerubian Egg is something that you really only want to keep if you see bunches of bananas. Outside of early game minions, you're going to be looking for draw power cards such as Tracking or removal tools through things like Wild Spirits or Star Power. Now, with that all being said, let's look at some games. Okay, time for a game against Rogue. Let's see what they have in store for us today. I do not like seeing Thaddius in the opener. Okay, this looks a little bit better. I mean, we're probably just going to Tracking this turn and then pass it to them. Hopefully we get something interesting. I almost want to grab Sir Finley, but I think we're going to go for Brightwing. Jolly Roger. I guess we use Barrel of Monkeys, right? Let's put down Brightwing. We technically don't have a way to make any advantage out of it, but we are going to be protecting our own face with the one monkey that we have. Oh, that... I'm assuming they're Menagerie Rogue. I know that deck's been floating around. I haven't really done anything with it per se. It was a deck that I actually tested out, I think when Festival of Legends first came out, but then I ended up scrapping it. I can't remember why. Actually, I guess it wasn't Menagerie, it was just Pirates. Went for Krush. Like 99% of the time, Krush is the choice. I know in some of the later versions of the deck, I'm using Hollowed Hound. However, I do think maybe putting Hollowed Hound in ETC would be better, and then put one Urchin Spine, and then some other thing like a Jailer, or I don't know. I don't think the Jailer is absolutely necessary in this deck, but you could, in theory, run it. But this is definitely a game where having a Hollowed Hound would be really, really nice. I know of course, we got no taunts. We probably should have also taunted up here. Went for the second King Krush. Okay, Astor. We'll do 2 damage to our face. We're going to steal, well, get a random card. Maybe they are just pure pirates, which is kind of cool, I guess, but... So we'll have 1 taunt up. Star Power. Oh, I'll take a Star Power any day of the week. Not technically what we want to clear out. Of course, 1 minion survives. Sometimes my luck with cards like that are insane, and other times it just goes down south really, really quickly. Okay, now that's going to be a problem. We can't put down King Krush in a turn, which is what I would love to do. They're probably going to attack with the 4-1 into the 1-1, I'd assume, and then they get the weapon. All right, I would love to deal with that crab. Flesh Behemoth does literally nothing right now. However, we do have full combo in hand, which is actually pretty nice. Let's Hero Power. We probably should have used Fizzle there, because then we could have shuffled an additional copy of our hand into the deck, but this is fine. I actually think this was one of the first games that I had. I think I got this replay within 3 or 4 games, which is why I ended up going along with it for as long as I did. It feels good. Like, the deck doesn't feel awful, especially when you can pull off the combo, and I think I fixed some of the issues with the deck in later variants of it, which were shown in the beginning of the video. They bounce that back, so we're going to have to deal with another crab in hand, which is going to be a... Oh, now that is a spicy draw. And then we can use bunches of bananas. Probably should have used a bunch of bananas on the other... no, I guess this works too. Then we're going to save the 1 attack for the crab. I have a feeling that we're going to need it. Of course, they have an answer to it. There's Krakatoa. The nice thing is, Rogue isn't notorious for having a ton of oh. They haven't played any concoctions is the thing. And I don't think even if they attack into the behemoth and get rid of it here, we get Thaddius no matter what, which is great. We don't care if they attack into it because they're probably just going to try to do a bunch of damage to our face, right? Yeah, and armor up. They're not running any concoctions, so we don't have to worry about that. They just passed the turn. Oh, okay, maybe they were curious of what we were doing. There's our Yodeler, and there's our Thad. Let's become a Chad with 3 King Krushes. We're the true alpha in here. We're the kings. Okay, temporary game against Paladin. Let's see what they have in store for us. It's probably going to be pure because it is always pure. I would kill to see a new Paladin deck actually come into play that isn't just pure. The problem that I see, with Paladin in particular is even if they do add some new cards for pure or non-pure Paladin, 90% of the time you're going to want to run pure Paladin just because of the fact that there's so many good pure Paladin cards. Just going to ping their face. We don't really have an answer for that 0-4. I would love to have some type of answer for it. We just don't. Let's use this. Come on. Whenever I want the Fox, I can never get it off of Wild Spirits. I also realized the reason why I ended up including Wild Spirits in the deck was to try to have it as removal because good old aim shot isn't in rotation anymore. If we can survive an additional turn, Ricochet Shot's interesting. Ricochet Shot actually does something in this game, which is nice. Or we could go with Conjured Arrow. Conjured Arrow, I think, is better in the long term. We're hoping to get at least a few of these minions gone, just in case they are running a big Dude Paladin package.
Reporting for duty. Face your end.
Alright, let's... come on. Hit. Of course. Out of all the things that it could have left alive, that... okay. So, they're going to get another Paladin card here for free. So, they'll have... Of course, it's at 1 HP, and we don't... Oh, actually, we can get rid of that, and then say goodbye there. Put down another barrel. Put a second one down. I'm really kind of... Oh, okay. I was going to say I'm a little bit tempted to use the Conjure Arrow, but I think we're going to save it for something bigger and better that we really need to get rid of, because them having the 1/1s don't really do too much against us. Okay, Ruben, but wait, they're not actually pure? Oh, hey buddy, thanks for not being pure. Holy shit, they're just Menagerie. I would have assumed that they would have been pure. It is kind of weird that they aren't just pure, because you can't run the Purator if it is Menagerie. But I mean, I've done weirder things. Maybe they're trying like a version of what I try to do with the weapon, trying to get as many copies of the like hero power buffs as humanly possible. Okay, muster for battle. Really curious of what they're actually playing. I'm assuming it's some type of like Dude Menagerie Paladin deck, which is cool. Cool idea. I don't know how strong it is, but cool idea at least. Okay, there's equality. We're definitely... Of course they're running Consecrate, because why wouldn't they be running Consecrate? It does clear out our board a bit, which is nice. Okay, I'm assuming... Oh, there's the heart. I think what we do is probably put down the Hydra. Hydra gets rid of 2 of the recruits. I know it looks a little bit strange if we did that. Oh, I guess we went after their Nerubian. I would have... hindsight is 2020, but going after the recruits would have probably been better, just because they probably have some type of way to answer. Okay, they're just going to clear out our board. That's perfectly fine. At least both of those are out of the way. Okay, yeah. So they were doing what I was expecting them to do. Then they have Jitterbug. All right, we put down the Flesh Behemoth. We just need Yell. Oh, never mind. We don't need just Yelling Yodeler for the combo. We got it right here. All right, what are the chances that they can actually do 8 damage to this Flesh Behemoth? That draws them a card. Murky doesn't do it. That doesn't do it either. Right, so we're going to yell our way to victory. Drawing the second Yodeler, getting Thaddius. Can put down the Selective Breeder to get additional copy. Put down one Krush. We can put down Zola on the Krush. Then we can attack, pop that Divine Shield, put down a second Krush, and get rid of both of the taunts. And then they have to deal with Thaddius, 2 Krushes, and a bunch of other stuff on the board. Okay. They use both equalities already, so they don't have access to that. They're not pure, so they don't have access to the thing that makes something a 1/1. They could get an equality here. That would be annoying. Of course they get an equality here, because why would they? Why the hell wouldn't they? Okay, they get rid of all that. Oh, I'm sorry to tell you this, but, well, after we make some space, all right, we're gonna pull out our heartstrings and crush you with some crushes. Hey, time for a game against Druid. Oh man, I do not like this opening hand. Keeping Star Power and Conjured Arrow are fine, but I think getting rid of Conjured Arrow just because it doesn't draw us anything. And I don't like this hand any better. Okay, now here's the problem. We do have Sir Finley to refill King Krush to the bottom of the deck. That does put both Star Powers and the coin at the bottom of the deck. I think, honestly, we're probably going to do it, and hopefully we won't get Thaddius. I'm just hoping Thaddius is towards the bottom. But sometimes you have to do stuff like this. Yelling Yodel. Oh, man. This looks a lot better. It might not look a lot better at first glance, but it is a lot better than what it was. Okay, Urchin Spines. Ended up removing the card from the list because I also removed the ricochet shot, so I could put in a second barrel of bananas, I think, and the 2 Nerubians, which made it feel a lot stronger, at least in the early game. The idea was 1 Urchin Spine would allow you to, like, nuke the entire board. However, we do have Hydralodon, and Hydralodon plus Star Power is pretty good at wiping out a board, even if it is a bit expensive. All right, let's put down King Krush. Yeah, choose King Krush. My bad. There's the trampoline. So they're big Druid. A lot of Druid decks just look very similar, and they're very hard to tell apart until you see a card like that, which is going to be a bit annoying to deal with, but we should still be fine, I think. Star Power? Let's go for Star Power, since it was at the bottom, and we know it was at the bottom. And we probably shouldn't have cleared that out. But then again, so they're going to clear us out. We're probably going to just sit on that weapon charge for a little bit, which is good for us. So do we want to get rid of that minion? I don't think we do. Just going to put down Barrel of Monkeys. It protects our face, and then it does kind of force them to maybe attack with the weapon. Okay, so they're just going to keep scaling up their attack, which is getting incredibly frightening, and they're going to draw some cards for free, basically. So they're going to Rake, then hit our face. I do wish this version did have the Hollow Hound. Hollow Hound, actually, when I was playtesting the deck for Friday, was actually incredibly strong, it felt. We're going to go for Fizzle, which may or may not be a mistake. The plus side about Fizzle, at least, I don't actually think he ever came up. I shove him in so many decks, and he never comes up. I don't think a single time has he ever come up whenever I was playtesting something, which is why he also ended up getting cut out of this version of the deck, or the final version of the deck. All right, let's put down this. I also, not in this deck in particular, but the other deck that I was testing out, I was almost tempted to cut this guy out. There are reasons you'll probably see on Friday, but there are reasons. They are clearing out a board. I'm actually happy that they're clearing out using a lot of their removal tools here, because it makes it a lot easier for us next turn. Oh, not next turn, but the following turn to just slam down everything. And we can draw a bunch of cards just to see what we grab. Okay, Strangleheart is funny. Ooh, select a breeder. That lets us get another Krush, because he should still be at the bottom. Yep. I don't think we're going to need all 3 Krushes to finish them off. I could be wrong. I kind of want to get rid of the Ricochet shot just to do some additional damage. There's their second trampoline. Let's put down this. We probably honestly should have attacked into their minion. I know it doesn't clear their minion, but it does give us additional space. I'm curious if they can actually get through this Flesh Behemoth. Even if they can, chances of them actually getting rid of Thaddius is going to be really slow, or low too. Okay, so they can get through the Behemoth. There's the Thaddius, so they... Oh, no. They, in theory, should be able to get rid of Thaddius here, right? You just need, what, 1 additional rake? I think we just start wailing on them with King Krushs if they get rid of him. Do they not? Oh, Drum Circle. Okay, so kind of a bit questionable why they didn't do that, but it's fine. Well, we do have Thaddius, and we do have the Krushes. Then we have the Urchin Spines, plus the Ricochet. That should get rid of 2. Get rid of that, then we just go face and finish them off. Alright, now that we're through the game, so let's discuss my final thoughts of the deck. So overall, I was happy with how this deck turned out. It proved the point that Yelling Yodeler is a perfectly good card. It is really just missing a little bit of support from being really good in Hunter. However, I will say, even though I did have a 50% win rate across the 20 games I did play with this deck, I don't think this is probably the most relevant Thaddius deck in the world. The underlying issue about this deck in particular is the fact that you actually do have to get to turn 9 in order to pull off this combo, which the other 2 Thaddius decks floating around right now do not actually have to do. Though with the addition of Nerubian Egg within late testing, this deck did feel a lot stronger than the earlier versions that I was playing. Overall, my recommendation for this deck is, if you want to feel like a Chad with a deck that no one is going to expect, play this deck. However, if you're looking for something to wreck the meta for Hunter, maybe wait till Friday to see what I have in store for us. Now, like always, if you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, bye-bye.